I love to teach people how to taste wealth. If you're optimizing for doing good in the world and making the world a better place, you are going to be met with violent opposition. Once you've had a taste of wealth, there's no other way. Focus on the mission, focus on the purpose of the business. The reason why I like to work with people that are spiritual is because I know that they're seeking to grow, that they have faith, that they believe everything happens for a reason, that they take full responsibility if they're mature in their spirituality. Now, there's a distinction between a person that's spiritual but immature in their walk versus somebody who's spiritual but mature in their walk. And those are two different human beings, although they both say that they're spiritual. Their maturity levels are different. I'm also looking to work with people that are generous, that have gratitude, that want to tithe and give back, and want to make the world a better place, and that want to go deeper into their walk and transform their character and transform their abilities. And when you're spiritual, that's the path. So knowing that they're spiritual and they're on the path, I can work with them more effectively because that's the path that I'm on. So we're travelers together, basically. And there's a camaraderie in that. There's a connection and there's a trust that we can have in each other because we're being held accountable to the highest standards. In being a spiritual person, you are required to raise your standards if you're seeking to mature yourself on your walk. You're always saying, I could do better, I failed. There's adjustments that I need to make to my character and to my ego and to other attributes of myself. And that introspection and that desire to transform and to become more of who you're capable of being is unique. And so an organization that has that as its foundation, there's a lot to work with there. Now there's other challenges in that. There's things that make those organizations very difficult to operate. They're not as easy as you might think. You might think, wow, should be easy, but no, there's a heightened sensitivity. There's a family camaraderie that often makes it difficult to address conflict and to hold people accountable and to require more of people. And so there's a lot of nuance to running such a system, but I've found that those systems are much more enjoyable to run than systems that are optimized for ego or money or greed. Yeah, running a faith-based business is actually much harder than running a standard business. You have higher standards, higher requirements on you, and you're going to be tested, and you're going to have challenges, you're going to have weeds planted in your garden, you're going to have all kinds of things that you're going to experience than one that is simply optimizing for a profit. If you're optimizing for doing good in the world and making the world a better place, you are going to be met with violent opposition. And so it is much harder to run a faith-based business in a spiritual organization than it is to run one that is just simply trying to monetize and make as much money as possible. Oh yeah, I've done both, yeah. I've ran both businesses the standard way, and I've run businesses the spiritual way. I think it's a much more fun environment to run it spiritually. It just feels better. You can trust people more. You can count on people more. People hold themselves to a higher standard. You know, they're seeking to grow and they're seeking to mature in their walk. And so it brings a foundation of growth and transformation that we're all going through together. It's an environment where people are optimizing to learn and to grow more versus optimizing just to do the job. How do you know if a faith-based business works? Do your prayers get answered? It's real simple. If you're praying to grow in your ability to make an impact and grow in your ability to take on responsibilities as a leader and grow in your ability to organize and to lead people, and you're seeing the results in your business, then you know you're in alignment with what God has in store for you. If you're seeing chaos and you're not growing, then you still got more work to do. Yeah, I mean, of course I've seen monetary successes. I've seen spiritual and faith-based businesses throw off tens of millions, hundreds of millions in cash flow. There is a better way that is not in the management books. There's a lot of management practices that you can apply to the running of a faith-based business, but then there's also spiritual practices that you need to apply. When you're running a business that has a purpose and you're seeking to make an impact in the marketplace, it's really fun because it gives you feedback and it gives you opportunities to grow. It gives you different tests and challenges, and it comes with different heartache than doing it in a standard or secular way. But it's a lot more fun. It stimulates a lot more growth and a lot more reflection and contemplation. I think it evolves you and the people within your organization at a much faster pace. It's the holy grail, literally, of running business. What differentiates us? experience, faith, desire to serve. We really care about our people, and we care about our customers, and we want to see them succeed. Sometimes I care more about their growth than they do. And then of course we're investing heavy in technology and infrastructure. And I think the best way to look at AlterCall is, when you meet our team and you see our operations and you see how fine-tuned our systems are, do you want to work with a company that is running a world-class organization that is doing remarkable things, both in technology and the team members that we attract and recruit, and the way we develop that talent, and the way that talent is able to serve? Like, do you want to work with an organization that embodies the virtues and values that you aspire to have within your organization or not? AlterCall is a demonstration of the excellence of our higher power at work and business. And so anyone who wants to take a look underneath our hood, I welcome them to do so. Why do I mentor people? When I was 17 years old, by the grace of God, a mentor came into my life and changed everything. I went from being a kid that was facing abject poverty, drugs, looking at prison sentences, to working for a man who was a multimillionaire, and I got to see how the rich people work and live and act and behave. I got to watch it firsthand. I got to read their books. I got to study underneath them. I got to see the other side of the tracks, and I got to live in the other side of the tracks and experience the other side of the tracks. And once you've had a taste of wealth, there's no other way. And I love to teach people how to taste wealth and to have moments in their lives that they never dreamed possible. I've had some pretty significant accomplishments and some moments where it was a paradigm shifting moment where I just said, I'll never be the same. And there's nothing that gives me greater joy than helping a person have one of those moments and being there with them when they have that big check hit, or they sell their company, or they get the business model working and it's throwing off a ton of cash and they realize that they've done it, they've achieved greatness. There's nothing like that. And I enjoy helping people have those moments where they know life will never be the same. And so that's why I mentor. How do I mentor people? I start with the free coaching call. And they have to go through a qualification process because I'm not for everyone and everyone's not for me. I'm more effective if a person has already got some traction and they've started to put some of the pieces of the puzzle in place, and now they need somebody who can play the game at a higher level to look at their chessboard, so to speak, and help them advance it. If they haven't even started playing chess, there's probably a better teacher for them than that. So if they're a little further along in the game, maybe they're doing 3 million or 5 million or 10 million in sales, and they want someone to look at the game that they're playing and help them advance it, that's the perfect person for me to serve. And I do so by doing a free coaching call, give them an hour of my time. I learn about their business, give them some strategies and tactics that'll help them improve it. And we help them advance their mission. And then of course, if it's a fit, we do business together. So it's a way that I get to screen them, they get to screen me, and if it makes sense, we'll do some business together. I love doing those coaching calls because I get to meet new people doing great things in the world, and I get to give them some practices or some strategies to help them improve their operations. And obviously, if we like each other, it can be a very prosperous relationship. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, share, help boost this video. I want to get the word out about my work, and I could use your help. Thank you so much, and God bless.